flying saucers have invaded our planet. Washington, London, Paris, Moscow are key targets.
We are the survivors of a disintegrated solar system. At this moment, the remainder of our fleet is circling your globe.
What do you want with me?
Arrange for your world leaders to confer with us in the city of Washington.
Of excitement, breathtaking spectacle, hair-raising terror. See flying saucers travel thousands of miles in seconds.
Russ, look.
The same kind of thing that's watched us since the beginning of the project.
Welcome to a show about everything, number 9. I'm your host, John Deecken, and behind me you can see us taking a quick journey to Machu Picchu, but we found this strange gentleman here behind a boulder. I wanted to share this with you. This is from gigapan.org, which is a place where you can get these incredibly high definition photos that you can zoom into like a telescope, and you see stuff like you've never seen before. That's our quick Machu Picchu minute. Less than a minute, actually. Now, my name is John Deecken. As you know, we're broadcasting live from downtown Bridgeport. We have a guest this evening who will be out shortly. Her name is Dale Allen, an international speaker of much acclaim, and she'll be discussing the feminine principle and the ancient wisdom of Goddess, and many other aspects of that subject. And before we get there, I have some special night vision UFO update I'd like to share with you all. Not just yet, but we've been doing research here, trying to verify some of the stuff that we've been showing you in the past few months. And just for a quick recap, let's go to 3.0. This is some of the previous stuff we shared with you. This is speeded up about 5 times. But you can see this formation of orbs, for lack of a better word, clearly is enjoying itself flying around in the sky. And this is infrared. I'm not sure the magnification here. That's just a real good one. Let's look at 3.1, which have a series of good ones here. These are more typical. Well, you'll see a flying, glowing light, and it will zig and zag like this one's doing. And doesn't seem to be an animal or insect of any kind, and the research has to be done to determine what these things are. And there's another one shooting up. You can see it's really a ball, and seems to have a lot of control over its movement. Doesn't seem to be any inertial or G-forces being applied to it. It just, look at that, one going by another one. Now see, you can see it. It's a gray ball, and it moves on its own accord, quite often hitting stars, but of course that's going to happen when you're with a starry background. There's a third one going across, so there's a lot of action in that clip right there. And there's a fourth one, so I was surprised and wanted to find out what this is all about. And let's go to 3.3, and we'll come back to 3.2 after this. This is what a meteor looks like, in case you're wondering, in case you think that these were meteors. They're not. A meteor, as you can see, lights up, burns out, and drifts as dust. Now, let's go to 3.2, Johnny Boy's first catch. This is my footage I took 2 weeks ago. You can see the frame moving around because I personally, individually stabilized every frame because I wanted to see the path that this thing was taking. And if you don't mind playing it a second time, I want you to notice how it's strange, how it drops down to kind of go between those two stars, and it's going to drop down again to kind of go between those, like it's threading the needle. And this is showing you a lot of resolution, which means that these things are far away from the camera, and I got to determine how far. So the jury's still out, but I want to just tell you that's my footage. I've taken it, and these things are real, and they're not insects or birds or bats. But I will get footage of those things for us to look at, so you don't have to believe me. You can see for yourselves. Another juicy one is 3.4. This one is it's a larger area. You can see where the individual squares of my night vision scope, you see that's all I saw at the time, and I moved every frame so that the stars are perfectly lined up. So you can see the true trajectory of this thing. And it's just not, to me, it's not normal. It's not acceptable that that's natural. Let's do, did we do 3.5? Here's a zoom in on the same guy. Just want you to see that there's a little sparky pixel that you'll see following the orb. That's a defect on the camera. And it follows it in the same, it's in the same position vis-a-vis the rectangle. So don't worry about that, it's not fake. Let's go to 3.7. This is 3 doubles. Look at that. Again, the dead pixel is in the middle there that doesn't move. Those two guys are flying together, flying high up, very fast, and they cross the entire sky together. And I would say they're in orbit, but they change their direction, and satellites cannot do that. Look at that guy whipping by, okay? We were following a light one, and this bright guy goes whipping through. Here's a third double coming up right here. See him? Look at him almost colliding. And I go after the bright one. And this goes past Vega. That was the star Vega, very bright one. And so, just want to throw that at you people to show you that this is a real phenomenon. And I'm trying to look at it scientifically to get to the bottom of it. And certainly, it's a lot of fun. It feels like I'm fishing out there. So I don't fish, but it's a nice hobby for a guy like me. One more quickie, 3.9. This is an Atlas V booster that launched not too long ago. I just want to show you what the breaking the sound barrier does to the surrounding quarter mile of moist air. It's going to happen. You get some sound on that. You want to turn up a little bit? You will watch the vibrations, and the whole thing's going to look different once it breaks through. Coming up right here. Stand by. A few seconds. There, look at that. See the vibrations? That's the sound barrier, and it's still vibrating. So just to show you people that there's a lot going on that we would know if we worked for NASA and the CIA, and but we don't, and I don't want to, but I love to get the information that they have because it's all fascinating, and it should not really be exclusive to selected people who seem to be limited in their capacity to relate to others, let alone a country or the world. That's it for my political rant. Now, we had a clip from Dale Allen on a few shows ago, and we're going to review that in a moment. I just want to show you a quick clip, and she'll be here in about a few minutes, live in the studio. Let's look at 4.0, please. The JPEG, 4.0A. And let's get rid of the text. So this is a goddess statue. What I've been ranting about is, can you put my hand on live? Okay, if I go to the side here, I've been contending here. We all know that the belly button is at the golden ratio of a person's height. And so we find that same proportion in all these statues. It's either, how can I point at this? It's either right here at the belly button, or it's the higher part up here at the heart. And next one, please. And we also, I tried to show people the face matrix, which is the vertical division of a face is always the same, and the horizontal division is the same measurement. Next, right there. In other words, the width of a single eye socket is almost always equal to the distance of a nose to chin on any, not just any Egyptian or any piece of art, but goes back to the megalithic time. And it cannot, this is my developing little thesis, that it's either, how could it be intuitively automatic? That's incredible. The only other possibility is it was taught to them, and that information made them make art. Other people have said it's taking psychedelic mushrooms that spawn the art and architecture and music, but clearly these people had to be taught something. Let's go to 4.2, Dale Allen.
The women of former days took to husbands, but the women of today, if they attempt to do this, must be stoned to death. Mesopotamian Law Code 2350 BCE. The male is by nature superior, and the female inferior. The one rules and the other is ruled. This principle of necessity extends to all mankind. Aristotle, 4th century BCE. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God and King of the universe, that thou didst not create me a woman. Orthodox Jewish prayer. Killing a woman, like the drinking of liquor, is only a minor offense. Hindu Code of Manu, 600 CE AD. If you care for a son, you don't go easy on his studies. If you care for a daughter, you don't go easy on her foot binding. Chinese saying. Men have authority over women because God has made one superior to the other. The Quran, 650 AD. The worst scoundrels of the town surrounded the house, shouting, "Bring forth the man who has gone into your house for us to have intercourse with him." The owner of the house went outside them and said, "No, no, my friends, do nothing so wicked. This man is my guest. Here is my daughter, a virgin. Let me bring her out to you. Rape her and do what you please, but you shall not commit such an outrage against this Israelite." Judges 19. If the proof of her virginity is not found, then the men of the town shall bring forth the young woman to the door of her father's house, and they shall stone her to death, so you shall rid yourselves of this wickedness. Deuteronomy 22. Woman is the gate of the devil, the sting of the serpent. In a word, a perilous object. St. Jerome, 4th century. What else is woman but a foe to friendship, an inescapable punishment, a necessary evil, a natural temptation, a desirable calamity, a domestic danger, an evil of nature, painted in fair colors? Malleus Maleficarum by the Reverends Henrik Kramer and Jacob Spranger. It was written in 1460 with the full support of Pope Innocent VIII, and it was the indispensable authority for 3 centuries of persecution throughout Europe. Another one from Malleus Maleficarum. All witchcraft comes from carnal lust. Which in woman is insatiable.
We are live in the studio with Della Allen. I'm going to now make her become real. It's not, there we go.
There I am. And there I am.
Yes.
I'm here and there.
Welcome to a show about everything.
Thank you, John.
And we are fascinated by what you have to say and what we've studied some of your material here on the show in the past. And just tell us about yourself a little bit.
Well, you know, you just saw the most intense part of the show. I actually open up with what I call readings from the Black Book of History, and I need to get that part of it out of the way. What's really important about the work that I do is this is about the human journey. It's the evolution of human consciousness. And yes, I am talking about the subjugation of the, quote, feminine side of humanity. And yes, I am talking about the right side of the brain, which is the, quote, feminine gatherer-nurturer side of the brain. But the thing is that I'm talking about it because it's important to the progression of human consciousness. It's just as important that we lift this side of humanity up, just as important for women as it is for men. So the clip that you just saw was the opening of my one-woman show, In Our Right Minds, where I read from history these proscriptions against the feminine. They were the cornerstones. They were foundational beliefs to the society, to the culture that we're currently leaving.